Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. Changing your diet may change your life forever. And I've just seen this on my journey. It's been a journey through food, through nutrition, essentially seeing how eating junk foods, processed foods, how does it make you feel? And on my journey, I just have noticed the huge difference, the huge change it makes in your whole overall well-being. And even when I moved to a plant-based diet, you begin to feel the instant effects of how we are what we eat. So a lot of us, when we realize what we're essentially putting into our bodies is what we're getting out, you don't put milk inside a Lamborghini and expect it to go fast. It's not going to happen. And I've just seen how a lot of us, we overlook nutrition. We overlook food and diet and the role it plays in our emotions, more so in helping elevate our consciousness to the next level. And I've just seen how it's changed my life forever when I moved to a plant-based diet, when essentially I let go of all of this heavy processed food, which was really, in hindsight, it was making me feel terrible, but at the same time, it was addictive. And that's how so many of the foods in the supermarkets are set up. They're set up for you to become addicts. Nature does not make addicts. You can't really eat 100 apples. Well, you can. It's going to be tough though. But at the same time, you can eat hundreds of packets of crisps, chocolates, raspberry cakes, cheesecakes, fried food, burgers, sausages, all of these things which are heavily processed and heavily have so many impurities even within the food because it's not natural, it's not actually coming from the sun. It's man-made process, cooked, the enzymes have been taken out. And when we actually see this correlation between our well-being and the foods we're eating, instantly you just smile because you realize something as simple as just changing your relationship to food. It may not. It may change your life forever. And a lot of us, for me, I don't just see food as the only component of creating wellness and elevation in your own life. There's so many other factors, but at the same time, food plays an instrumental role. And I've seen this within my own journey to finding your own empowerment. You have to use food as medicine. The ancients knew this. They said, let food be your medicine. We should have to use food as a source of healing. And that's what I always do whenever I wake up. I am eating fresh greens, purifying the blood. You're eating foods when you feel a certain way. Also, herbs are out there. So many herbs nature has created. Ginger is a natural aspirin. And foods make us feel a certain way. They give us a boost of confidence, certain foods. And nature, I've noticed even in my own journey when I'm eating a lot of fruits, you become softer, your energy becomes lighter, and that's what it's all about. On my journey, I've seen becoming lighter is the only way to fly. So essentially, the more foods that you eat which elevate your consciousness, then you'll be able in turn to receive more information, because that's essentially what food is. Food is information from the cosmos. So when you look at it like you can actually use food to boost your self-esteem. Many people are eating food because they have a low self-esteem. And in turn, what's the food doing? The food is even making them feel worse. So it's a vicious cycle which actually perpetuates itself to a greater extent. And for people to break that cycle, they have to really look at their relationship to what they're consuming. And that's what I had to do on my journey, and I haven't looked back since. So when you actually realize that it may change your life forever. I've seen so many people go through an amazing transformation just by changing their relationship to what they're consuming, what they're putting into their bodies, because essentially your body is a temple. It may not be a temple for some people. It may be a rubbish bin but that's your issue. But it's just amazing when we actually realize if you put life into you, life will come out of you. If you put death into you, death will come out of you. And food is energy. Everything is being transferred. More so on the planet, many people are not even emotionally ready to kill their own food. So when you have documentaries like Earthlings, many people are not real meat eaters because they have to cook their food. When you're cooking the food, you're killing the enzymes. So essentially, many people are eating death. The meats are putrefying in the intestines, in the gut. Therefore, many people are drunk during the day because it's fermenting. And for me, I've just seen there is no perfect diet. You have to eat with what resonates with you. And you also have to realize that there's no need to judge anybody on what they consume. You have to stick in your own lane and essentially realize that you're creating your own reality. But when you are eating the right foods from nature, then that allows you to almost reach your maximum potential. That's what it's been doing on my journey. More so, you have more appreciation for what nature is creating. It helps you become more organic. The more artificial food you're putting into your body, it's actually, I saw it even on my journey when I used to binge, when I used to go and eat a lot of junk foods. You become almost an alien in your own body. You freeze up. So essentially, it's just amazing. Just when you change certain things, and that's how it is. It's just the small things lead to the great effects, the great changes. Just by changing something so minuscule, so subtle, can have phenomenal ripple effect. And for me, that's how I've seen it. Many people, we're not emotionally ready to kill our own food. But more so, many of us, we're not actually eating foods which have a high vibrational energy. They always say that many people, especially in this day and age, I said this in my diary before, we're living in a fast food culture. So that also is not just about the food, it's how we live. We're living in a 24/7 grind, many of us. So therefore you need a quick food. You need food in the microwave, it's in and then it's out. And that's how it happens. Many people don't, when you take the time to prepare something, you find a greater joy because you're actually seeing the process, you're mixing the ingredients. And it's beautiful when you actually prepare something with someone. And much of the food today, food is being used as a weapon against the population. And that's how food has always been a lethal weapon to control people energetically. So therefore, once you actually take control of the food that's entering you, then you essentially become more free. You elevate yourself. You become your own physician because food is the number one medicine. Many people are going to the doctors. Oh, I've got a headache. All of these pharmaceutical drugs are inorganic. So you can't put something inorganic inside an organic body. You have to use foods and herbs to heal yourself. But for me, it's more of a lifestyle. And I share it because I just feel a lot of us, it's beautiful when I've seen people and sharing their own experiences, and it's just, I can just see the shine in their face that yes, they are a living testimony of what a great nutrition can do, a great diet in terms of working the land, eating from the land instead of eating from a box, which is a casket. Man, that's why so much of the food is dead, because the life force has been drained out of it. And when you eat foods They call it raw foods, but raw foods is just natural foods which grow on the tree. This is how we're supposed to be eating. You just feel this surge of energy pass through you because it's activating your cells on a molecular level. It's going straight to the mitochondria. And for me, I've just seen it like that a lot of the times, even today's young generation is so hyper. And that's also because a lot of the meats they're eating, the cows, the pigs, they've been given sex hormones through artificial insemination. So then you realize, okay, when you're eating naturally, you even find your own adrenaline levels decreasing. So therefore, it puts you in a homeostasis. You feel calmer. You feel more satisfied and more happy with life. And that's how I felt on my journey. And it's beautiful. It's changed my life forever. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because I'm realizing when I even stopped eating meats, I just changed my way of seeing animals completely changed. I didn't see a goat and say, okay, that would be a nice meal. I saw a goat say, okay, it's living its own purpose. Animals were created for their own reasons. They were not created solely for our consumption. And when I realize that, I just see, okay, we've become arrogant on the planet. We feel every other life form that we see was created for our dinner plate. And that's how it is. You go to a restaurant and what happens? You have a starter course, you've got a main course, and you have a dessert. So it's like we're eating and eating and eating because it's a sign of status, it's a sign of success, not realizing that we're actually clogging up our arteries. That's why many people are dropping dead of a heart attack. A lot of natural foods promote wellness within the body. They decrease the stress levels. More so, they make us sensitive to everything around us. And that's what I've seen on my journey, and how so much of the food we're consuming now as a collective is actually making us insensitive. It's turning us into automatons, mindless drones. And it's actually helps us fit into this hive mind where everyone is thinking the same, talking about the same thing, feeling the same, because many people are out of tune with their true essence. And for me, that's the biggest secret and joy I've had by exploring natural foods. It's just phenomenal. Water is fantastic as a detoxer, also a blood cleanser, and 7 on the pH scale. And it's fantastic drink. It nourishes your cells. And I've just seen how the more water you drink, it's just, you also feel like your cells are fulfilled. Your whole body begins to glow. Your skin becomes smoother. Your digestion also improves. So water is essential in terms of creating an equilibrium throughout the body. And it also is one of the cheapest drinks that you could buy. Don't drink tap water though. You can if you want, but especially a lot of water which hasn't been filled with a lot of fluoride, because a lot of the tap water contains a lot of impurities. But when you just boil water, or when you buy or drink fresh spring water, you just feel the energy surge through your body. Drink up. Food contains a message, and it's information from the universe. So therefore, the fresher the food we are eating and we eat, then the more information, the more we can begin to see more clearly. And I've seen it even within my own journey. If you're eating food which has been there for like 2 weeks, you almost feel like you're losing the plot. When you're eating foods which are just fresh and ripe, you just feel this burst of energy. And even when the sun is shining right now, it's hitting my face and I'm just taking in, absorbing that energy. And that's why people just sun gaze, because we're eating through not only our mouth, but through our skin, because the skin is the largest organ in the body, also through our eyes and through our ears. So what we're seeing, we're also eating, also what we're listening to. And also not just food, what we're drinking. A lot of us on the planet right now, we want to have high energy drinks, whether it's Red Bull, caffeine, Starbucks on every corner. But what's that doing to the body? Well, it's actually speeding up the heart rate. The more you're stimulating the heart rate, you're actually making the body work harder. So that's why a lot of people are having all kinds of problems, cardiovascular problems, because we are almost on steroids. We should all be banned for doping. And that's how I see it. We really have to get back to eating foods which elevate us, but at the same time do whatever you resonates with you, because there is no right or wrong. It's only where you are at a particular time. And we've all been on a very draining, unhealthy diet. I've been there and I've just seen the metamorphosis, and that's why it's changed my life forever. It's beautiful. And to also see more people sharing their own recipes and how their relationship to food is changing, it's just a wonderful thing. That's how it is. In front of the sunshine, got the wind blowing, no complaining. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.